A very good morning to all the participants present. We welcome you back to the third day Faculty Development Program, Heritage Management, a Business Perspective. So yesterday we had 3 resource persons, wherein the technical session 4 that they talked about, Dr. Ruchka talked about heritage management in tourism and hospitality. And in technical session 5, Dr. Aditya Prakash Kant talked about the preserving heritage resource for posterity challenges and strategies. And in technical session 6, we had Dr. Ioannis Paulus, who spoke about the analysis of the marketing strategy of the Acropolis Museum in 18 Greens. So yesterday I hope you all had the valuable time and all your queries were sorted off. Now with the same energy and spirit, we're entering into the 7th technical session, which talks about the recent archaeological excavations in Tamil Nadu with reference to the heritage management. With great pleasure, I would like to welcome and introduce Now we'll start the session with a short prayer song.
Showers of blessings, this is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing, sent from the Savior above. Showers of blessings, showers of blessings we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead.
Welcome back to the third day, St. Joseph's College and Atal Academy's National Level Faculty Development Program, which is based on Heritage Management, a Business Perspective. Today we have the 7th technical session, which talks about the recent archaeological excavations in Tamil Nadu with reference to heritage management. With great pleasure, I would like to welcome and introduce the chair for the session, Dr. C. Thomas, former Associate Professor, Department of History, Periyar EVR College, Autonomous, Tiruchirappalli. We welcome you, sir. To talk about his diplomatic career, he has 30 years of teaching experience in various colleges across Tamil Nadu. His predominant position in career he has served as a sectional president of Tamil Nadu History Congress held at Periyar University, Salem in 2016. Currently, he is serving as a member of the editorial board for the Journal of the Historical Studies, published by the Department of History, St. Joseph's College, Trichy. His major research project was on prospects and problems of the handloom industry in Tamil Nadu in the context of globalization. He has authored and edited several books. He has published 45 research papers in various conferences and seminars. He has also guided 10 PhD scholars. Without taking much of your time, sir, I would like to hand over the session to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to all. Respected principal of this reputed institution, Father Rector, Father Secretary, the organizing members of this great event, particularly the head of the Department of Commerce, who takes much efforts for organizing this session. Dear participants and other friends, I am very glad to present a theme on recent archaeological excavations in Tamil Nadu with reference to the heritage management. The ancient Tamil Nadu, it was known as Tamilagam, extended from Cape Comorin in the south to Vindhya mountain in the north, and the east coast and the west coast in other sides. This boundary limit was given in the Tolkappiyam literature. It is the oldest literature ever found as a part of Sangam literatures. Later, the Sangam literatures often mentioned that the ruling families, Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyas, extended their territory, including Goa, became the part of ancient Tamilagam. And again, the rulers from Tamilagam went up to Himalayas and marked their emblems in the ranges of Himalayan mountain. It is attested in several poems composed by different poets of the Sangam age. Before the state formation became very prosperous under the Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyan rulers, there were existed Tinai-based state formation. Tolkappiyam narrated there were 5 Tinais existed in ancient Tamilagam. Tinai refers to landscape where the people settled and they maintained the environment for their existence. These Tinais are Kurinchi, Mullai, Marugam, Neidal, and Palai. Kurinchi is a land of mountain and the surrounding region. Mullai is a land of forest areas. Marugam is an agricultural belt, and Neidal is a seashore. Palai is a barren land, it is not a permanent one. So Tolkappiyam vividly explained the political aspects of these areas, and later when the leaders of the Tinai region emerged powerful, they tried to attack and conquer places of other region. That finally it led to the emergence of 3 dynastic ruling families, the Cheras, the Cholas, and the Pandyas. So there are several references in the Sangam literature about the recent archaeological excavating sites, particularly Kodumanal, Porundal, Orayur, Madurai, and Korkai region. So it is believed that the Sangam period came to an end by 3rd century AD. So after 3rd century AD, there occurred some changes in the political scenario of ancient Tamilakam. Further, for a long time, so after the decline of this ancient ruling families of the Cheras, Cholas, and the Pandyas, Kalabara rule, then Pallava rule, then rule of the Cholas, such a way, in the political atmosphere of ancient and medieval Tamilakam, several changes were occurred. It also led to the advent of the Sanskrit-based culture towards the area of ancient Tamilakam. As a result, Kerala, it was a prominent part as a part of ancient Tamilakam, became a Malayalam-speaking area. Then Karnataka emerged as a Kannada-speaking area. Then Andhra emerged as a Telugu-speaking area. Besides, there was a theory put forward by the newly coming people into Tamilakam, stating that Tamil language was not an independent language. Tamil language existed as a result of the flourishing of Sanskrit language. So such a way, the outsiders tried to reduce the image and the importance, glory of Tamil language. So such a way, in the meantime, Asoka, one of the greatest rulers of northern part or central and northern part, published or inscribed inscriptions with the Brahmi script. Therefore, Asoka's Brahmi script was considered as the age of beginning of historical phase in the southern part of India. So for a long time, it was believed that whatever the script or Tamil script found in the ancient Tamilakam, the area of ancient Tamilakam, was called as Tamil Brahmi script. So this was the theory that prevailed, or this was assumption that prevailed among the scholars. Then, after in due course, there was one missionary scholar called Caldwell. He wrote one book in the year 1856. The title of the book is The Comparative Grammar of Dravidian Languages, in which he identified that Tamil was the mother of all the Dravidian languages. Tamil has an independent identity because of, due to some other influence, the Tamil lost its glory. So it created an awakening among the scholars in the southern part of India. So afterwards, several attempts were made to give due importance for Tamil language and culture. Then further, the Tamil Sangam literature, when it was written, found in the palm leaf. In the 19th century, several scholars came forward and they edited this information, poems found in the palm leaf in the book form. That also created awakening among the scholars of South India. So with this background, today I like to present my main theme on recent archaeological excavations in Tamilagam and with reference to the heritage management. For today's talk, I have identified Kodumanal. So there is a screen of a Tamil Nadu map in which Kodumanal is identified. Then Porunthal, Porunthal is just near Kodumanal. Then Keeladi and another one Korkai. So these are the 4 belts I have identified for today's presentation. This Korkai region, that was a part of Marudam Tinai region. Korkai was a part of Marudam Tinai region located in the Madurai region that became the headquarters of the Pandya rulers in the ancient period. Then Keeladi also, this is located on the banks of river Baigai. It is located in Madurai region. Then it is a part of, it is a Marudam region. Actually, sorry, Korkai is a part of Neidal region, Neidal Tinai region. Keeladi is a part of a Marudam region, agricultural built land. Then Kodumanal and Porunthal, these are the part of a mountainous region, Kurinchi region, because small and big mountains are found around these areas. So first of all, I like to explain the archaeological importance and the excavation findings of Kodumanal. Kodumanal, which is located in Perundurai Taluk of Erode district in Tamil Nadu. Actually, it is found on the near to the Noyal River. Noyal River is a tributary river of River Kaveri. River Kaveri is originated in Karnataka, and in the major part of this river is flowing through Tamilagam and the confluence in the eastern coast of Indian subcontinent. Then this archaeological site of Kodumanal is mentioned in the Sangam literature. One of the Sangam literature called Padittipattu refers the place called Kodumanam. It is actually it is called as Kodumanal today. Kodumanal is a center of trade route through which trade contact was, from here the trade contact was done ancient Tamilagam located on the western coast of India. Then the excavation at Kodumanal started the full-fledged excavation, or the scientific excavation started in Kodumanal during the year 2009 and 10. Before excavation was undertaken, several attempts were made to explore the surface importance of Kodumanal. Therefore, Srinivasa Dikshidhar, the member of Archaeological Survey of India, conducted survey in the year 1961. And following this, in 1981, based on survey, a research scholar by name S. Raju, a scholar in Tamil University, and later he became the professor of epigraphy in Tamil University, presented a paper in the World Tamil Conference held in Madurai in the year 1981, in which he traced important archaeological antiquities found in the surface level of Kodumanal. Then again, under the guidance of Subbarayalu, he was a professor of Tamil University. Rajan, his research scholar, undertake exploration in the Coimbatore region, and based on the exploration, he submitted thesis annually, and finally he got the degree also. The systematic excavation started in the year 1985, and it several years continued from 1985, 86, 1988, and 1990. So these excavations were undertaken under the director of Dr. Subbarayalu. Then in 1998 and 1999, the State Department of Archaeology of Tamilagam has undertaken excavation in the year 1998 and 1999. Kodumanal became very popular after undertaking the excavation in the year 2012 by Dr. K. Rajan, the professor of history of Pondicherry University. So Rajan, with his research scholars, students, and continued this excavation process very seriously. Then again, recently, the government of Tamil Nadu, or the State Department of Archaeology, Chennai, has conducted excavation in the year 2020 and 2021. So Kodumanal became an important archaeological center due to the excavation process undertaken in several times, beginning from 1985 to 2021. Kodumanal excavation, process of excavation, or scientific process of excavation is classified into two. One is human settlement area, and another one the industrial complex. So in the settlement area, burial graves were taken for excavation. Several burial graves were found. So these burial graves are found in the form of schist. It is not a primary burial center. It is a secondary burial center, in the sense that the bones, after the death of the persons, the bones were collected. These bones were kept in the urn and ceremoniously buried in the places where the surviving people lived. So that burial method of burial is called schist burial. Schist burial. There are several megalithic burial. It is called megalithic burial site. Megalithic burial site in the sense that instead of using small stone to cover or to prepare cabin, the big granite slab and stone slab were used for making cabin. Therefore, it is called megalithic burial. Again, over the burial center, sometimes big stones were erected to identify that it is a center of a burial place. So here you, okay. Then there are chambers. Chambers in the sense that more than one burial cabins are kept in the particular place. So in some burial chamber or a burial that is called cabin, we can find gold that is called port goals. Actually, so in the excavation done in the year 2020 and 2021, a theory is put forward by the excavation director called Ranjit, stating that the megalithic burial that is appeared in Kodumanal region proves that the belief of life after the death found among the people of the Kodumanal region. Actually, there are several references in the Roman and Greek literature that trade contact was flourished between ancient Tamilakam and Greek and Roman Empire. In the ancient Egypt, when the pyramids were erected over the mummies of the ruling family kept as burial site, so in the pyramids, goals were placed in order to provide opportunity to the soul to go outside and again come back inside. So such a way, in the Kodumanal region, in the chest burial cabin, we can find goals. There are three types of goals, that is called round goals and rectangular goals. Such a way, the different types of goals are made in such a way. Therefore, from this we can believe that this burial ground appeared in Kodumanal can be compared with the pyramids of Egypt, because the ideology behind the construction of Egyptian pyramid and the ideology behind the erection of chest burial chambers in the Kodumanal region are both, because the people of ancient Egypt believed that there was a life after the death. In such a way, the people in and around Kodumanal also believed that there was a life after the death. Therefore, in the chest burial chambers, the gold was artificially made in the slab, which was used for preparing cabin. Then again, when the chest burial ground was made and when the skeletons were buried, valuable articles were buried along with this skeleton. The important articles buried along with the skeleton were grains, then some iron objects, gold objects, pottery sets. Pottery sets, that piece of pottery. So in these pottery sets, the letters are inscribed. That is called, previously it is called as a Brahmi, Tamil Brahmi inscription or Tamil Brahmi script, but recently, based on other excavation conducted in other part of Tamilakam, and the date which is fixed by the scientific laboratories of various places, including Italy and USA, the scholars come to the conclusion that it is not a Brahmi script, but it is a Tamil script, otherwise called a Tamil script. So valuable items are put along with this arm which was used, which included or kept this skeleton. Therefore, this valuable item nowadays helped the scholars who undertake the excavation to prepare several theories regarding evolution of script in Tamilagam and the theories that the date in which the historic age was started in Tamilagam. So all these doubts were rectified by the results or artifacts brought out from this burial excavation. Then again, another thing is that this burial excavation also helped the historians and the scholars to comparatively or to support the views given in the Sangam literature. So, till the bringing out these articles or excavation artifacts, there was a criticism from a group of historians and scholars about Sangam literature, stating that there is no other supporting evidence to prove that what is mentioned in the Sangam literature is correct. So now it became very clear among the historians of Tamilagam, other part of India, and the historians of the world level, global level, they are very much proud of getting results from various artifacts found in the burial ground in Kodumanal and other important places. So this is called chist burial. Around this chist burial, there is a round shape marking that is called this Kairan circle. Kairan circle that indicates that where the skeletons are buried. So there are several Kairan circle excavated from this Kodumanal region. Then another important, this is another important Kairan circle that burial ground is normally found in the barren region. Sometimes the people normally would not go very near to this region. Say you can see the environmental atmosphere of the Kairan circle found in the particular region. Okay. Then another important aspect of this Kodumanal excavation is a discovery of an industrial site. There are several objects or artifacts excavated from this region. These artifacts prove that there was a flourishing industrial site existed in this region. Then one of the important industries that flourished during this time was a textile industry. It proves that the terracotta spindle wares that was excavated from this region. And another important industry that found in this region is iron and iron processing industries also found in this region. Then gold processing elements also found from this region. Then actually in Kodumanal, there is one, there are several furnaces that proves that during this time, during the ancient time, or especially in the ancient time in the sense that in the beginning of the historic era, there were the iron and steel processing industry existed in this region. It is said that this open furnaces that found in this region proves that the area was, the people in the local region in the midst of 1200 degrees centigrade heat conducted work. As a result, the industrial site became very popular. Then from this excavation site, rare ornaments were excavated. there is a gold wire, gold wire also found in this region, and several jewels made of semi precious stones were also found from this region. There are several references in the Sangam literature about the making of jewel or a manufacture of jewel in Kodumanal and Porunthal. Therefore, what is mentioned in the Sangam literature is attested by this excavation objects discovered from this region. Then another important industrial aspect of this region is bronze making. So this is a bronze tiger measuring about 8 centimeter long and 5 centimeter high. Height is also found in this region. Then again, from where the people brought raw materials for preparing the industrial finished products. Actually, raw materials for this industrial complex were brought from Perumalai, Padiyur, Chennimalai in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra in other part of India, and also from Afghanistan. Therefore, there was a trade. So it became a trading center, industrial complex. So the director of excavation called Dr. K. Rajan called it as a industrial complex because there several types of industrial industries were existed and flourished. Then again, another important thing, these goods are exported. Kodumanal became an exporting area. From here, the things are exported to Mussoorie. It is called Pattanam. There also, very recently, excavation was held. In the Pattanam excavation, several foreign, Roman vessels and coins and other important foreign valuable items were discovered. From there, the things were exported to C4 countries. Then Herodotus, who is called the father of history, mentioned in his writing that the people from southern part of Asia came with valuable goods, and they are very hard work, very intelligent. Such a way, it proves that there was a trade contact between Kodumanal and other foreign countries. Actually, again, Herodotus mentioned that the Phoenicians, the people from southern part of Asia, were responsible for development of Phoenician civilization. Phoenicians also very hardworking people. It was Phoenicians who has taken the letters left by the Egyptians. Phoenicians developed these letters as a 24 character. These 24 character letters were taken by or adapted by the English, and they added 2 more characters that there became 26 alphabetic letters of English language. So, such a way, the ancient Tamils from this mountainous region, it was a part of Chera country. They had a trading contact with other far off places, other foreign countries. Okay. Then the discovery of potsherd became very attractive or a very informative object for flourishing historians and the scholars. So in which there are several letters, words are found in this potsherds. These potsherds, actually, these letters are inscribed once these potsherds are dried up. There are 2 ways of inscribing letters in the potsherds. One is in the form of trying position, and another one, once this pottery or potsherds tried, those who want to write their name or any information used to inscribe something. So such a way, this potsherds proof that the names are inscribed after it became tried. So one of the important word found in the potsherd is Sampan, Samanan. So several other names also found are Sumana. These are the names found in the potsherds inscribed by the people of this region in the long back. Then another important object is that once this area, the artifacts were collected, these artifacts were sent for testing. So it is said that this area flourished in the 5th century BC, 5th century BC. Therefore, the discovery of potsherds which contain the Tamil script proves that the historic phase of ancient Tamilagam in South India occurred in the 5th century AD. It disproved the existing theory that the historic phase in South India started in the year 300 BC or in the 3rd century BC, because in the 3rd century BC, Asoka, he inscribed several edicts in the Brahmi script. One of the edicts of Asoka mentioned about the existing of a flourishing political powers in South India, the Cheras, the Cholas, and the Pandyas. Therefore, the historians till then believed that Asoka's edict, Asoka's Brahmi script became basic script for writing Tamil language. So this excavation and the results found from this excavation disprove that it is not Asoka's Brahmi script that helped for the development of Tamil language, but Tamili or Tamili script. It was the original indigenous script of the Tamil people that helped for the evolution of a Tamil language. Then again, the existence of this potsherds and other cultural objects, including artifacts, also prove that there was a trade contact between Tamilagam and North India, and also Tamilagam and other part of the world. So this is this much. This is a brief explanation of Kodunganur excavation. Another, the site I have chosen for presentation is Porunthal. Porunthal, it is a tiny village situated on the foothill of Western Ghats. It is located about 12 kilometers southwest of Palani. It is one of the important religious centers of Hindus of India, and even the foreign people from foreign countries also came there for worship. Then Porunthal became or remained as a trading center which connected Pandya capital of Madurai and Vanchi, the capital of Cheras, and other part of on the western coast of India. Then Sangam literature, particularly Padittu Pattu. Padittu Pattu is a text which mainly speaks about the importance of the cultural, political, and social life of the Cheras of the Sangam age. The Padittu Pattu also makes an reference about Porunthal. In the Padittu Pattu literature, there are references that gold manufacturing and manufacture of other valuable objects were found in the Porunthal region. This Porunthal region was also discovered by Yadish Kumar, the member of Archaeological Survey of India in the year 2006, and later in the year 2009 and 2010, Rajan, the professor of History, Department of Archaeology, Pondicherry University, undertake the scientific excavation there. The same excavator or the same director also conducted the excavation at Kodumanal. Then by the time Rajan took over the responsibility of conducting excavation, the several staff from different part of Tamlaham and other part of South India came forward and extended their support. Then the students from Tamil University, Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati, Mangalore University, Coimbatore University, and Shimoga University, and Deccan College for Women participated in this excavation. This excavation is undertaken without making use any outside worker. Students became very source of inspiration for the director for undertaking this excavation. Then, like other excavation sites, this excavation site also classified into two: habitation cutting sites and what you called industrial site. Actually, there are several antiquities excavated from this region: figurine, terracotta figurine, then gold pieces, copper coin, then terracotta female head, then bowls and other glass materials, then beads, especially the materials made out of semi-precious stones were excavated from this region. Then this excavation also helped to understand that the people from this region involved, this is a habitation, this area also the part of habitation site. Okay. Then excavation of grave. It is one of the important steps taken by Professor Rajan for bringing out the importance of the grave found in this region. So about in one grave, nearly 7,500 objects were found. Several graves were excavated. Then from graves, the Rajan also happened to identify Tamil Brahmi script. Then again, in one grave, Rajan found a four-legged jar containing 2 kg of paddy found in one of the important graves. So this is a pot where in which 2 kg paddy was kept intact. So even after 2000 years, the paddy was intact. It was not affected by any climatic change. So this, the second photo, you can see paddy grain. So this paddy helped Rajan to fix the date of this excavating site. So then another important thing of excavation is that the pottery sherds that found in the excavation site helped Rajan to fix the date of this script. The pottery sherds which contained this inscribed script were sent to Beta Analytic Lab, USA for analyzing and finding the data. This lab gave the data or gave the year of this grain is 450 BC. 450 BC. That means BC in the sense that it is said that before Common Era. Before Common Era, that is called BC. Common Era is AD 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this discovery also disproved the existing belief, the theory that in Tamilagam, Brahmi script was introduced through the influence of Asoka's edicts, but it is nothing but the influence of Asoka's edict, but it is hard work done by the local people who lived in Porundal region. They evolved their own script, and these scripts were written or inscribed almost 200 years before the Asoka's edict, Asoka's script came into being. Then again there was a criticism among the scholars regarding the date given by the lab, Beta Analytical Lab of USA, stating that the date of this potsherd was 450 BC, and the date of this paddy was also 450 BC. Then again, another one sample was taken and sent for analysis, and this gave a data that it belongs to 450 BC. So anyhow, during the 5th century BC, in the Porundal region, very flourished civilization existed, trade flourished, then industrial site flourished, then agricultural activities were undertaken, and again writing system also developed in the Porundal region that was a part of Chera country during the 5th century AD. Therefore, so these are the important analysis. So these excavation artifacts helped the scholars to establish a fact that Tamil language is an indigenous language, independent language. It stood on its own. It evolved on its own without the influence of any other language from a neighboring region or any other foreign country. So the next important thing is, so far I have discussed two areas, Kodumanal and Porundal. Kodumanal and Porundal region was a part of this Kurinchi region. That is, I have already mentioned that the Tolkappiyam mentioned about 5 Thinai region. Landscape of Tamilagam was divided into 5 Thinai region: Kurinchi, Mullai, Marugam, Neidal and Palai. The Kodumanal and Porundal located in the Kurinchi region, as it was mentioned in the Tulkapiam literature. Then Keeladi civilization, Keeladi, it is located on the banks of river Baigai. It is located in the Madurai, few kilometers away from Madurai in the Savagangai district. This Keeladi excavation or the Keeladi was not actually once upon a time the river Baigai flew through Keeladi because I have visited this area twice during the excavation time. We can find sand, mixed clay, interior part of excavation site. From this again, there coconut trees are cultivated. Coconut trees also grew very tall and also yielding well. Therefore, it shows that this area is mixed with sand. Therefore, the outer this environmental environmental setting will also help us to prove that Baigai river was flowing through this Keeladi region once upon a time. There was a reference in the Sangam literature about Madurai. In several Sangam poems or Sangam, yes, poems written by different poets, that there was a flourishing city, flourishing fort with what is called Ahali. Then it also mentioned about the soldiers, then the life of the people. Therefore, it proves that whatever the information found in the Sangam literature is attested by the objects found in the archaeological site of Keeladi region. Okay. Then the 7 phases of excavations were held in Keeladi. The first phase started from 2015, and the recent phase of excavation which is going on in the Keeladi region is a 7th phase. The first few phases were undertaken by the Archaeological Survey of India, and later the State Archaeological Department of Tamilakam took over the responsibility of conducting excavations in the Keeladi region. Recently, in the initial stage, excavation started in Keeladi alone, but recently the Keeladi other few places were also included in the map of excavation site. Therefore, it is called as a Keeladi cluster. Keeladi cluster includes Keeladi, then Kondagai, and other part of the area. Okay.
Hello, my dear participants. There will be a break for 5 minutes. So meanwhile, we will just remember all the things you have to keep in mind while attending this faculty development program. So the participants are requested to join the 10 minutes prior to the session time to avoid any technical glitches as per the AICTE and ATL guidelines. In order to avail the certificate, the participant must have at least 80% attendance and secure at least 60% marks in the quiz. The attendance will be done through Google Form links, which will be shared during the sessions. Participants are requested to mark their attendance during each session by filling the Google form. All the FDP related announcements will be done over the mail or WhatsApp group. Participants are requested to join the WhatsApp group by clicking the link below. If you're not joined in the WhatsApp group, so far, please check your registered mail. You are requested to join only through the registered mail ID. For schedule and timing of the sessions, participants can refer to the brochure. It's already being shared to your email and in your WhatsApp group. You are requested to mute your audio and turn off your video during the sessions, but you cannot unmute your audio only during your Q&A sessions. Please note that all the sessions will be recorded on the Zoom platform and will be stored in the AICTE repositories. Use the chat box for interactions and asking questions only. Avoid unnecessary posts in the chat box. Use laptop or desktop for better experience. The PPTs of the current session will be shared through your WhatsApp group. Thank you. My dear participants, the session will be continued. We have having a short break for 5 minutes. The session resumes now.
So, dear participants, I resume my talk with the Keeladi excavation. Keeladi is located on the banks of Keeladi is located in the Madurai region. Once river Baigai that was flowing through this region, and the present surface appearance of this region help us to assume that the river Baigai once flew through this region. So once the excavation started in Keeladi region, great awareness spread among the people. People from, so daily development regarding exploration in excavation in Keeladi is appeared through different types of media. The people from various parts moved to Keeladi to see the excavation site. Even the present principal of St. Joseph's College, Reverend Father Arogya Swami Xavier, also organized a study trip to Keeladi. He took PG students for enlightening their knowledge about the excavation process that was held in Keeladi. Then this Keeladi excavation, one of the important things of this Keeladi excavation is that it is supported previous findings of Kodumanal and Porunthal. I have already narrated that Kodumanal and Porunthal excavation sites helped for fixing the period of historic phase, beginning of historic phase. These excavation sites also helped to evolve the script in Tamil region. So these findings, the two important previous findings of Kodumanal and Porunthal were supported by the findings of Keeladi region. So the samples which were taken from this Keeladi region were collected and sent for analysis in the Beta Analytic Lab, Florida, USA. So these samples fix the date that the samples which were taken from particular depth of this excavation site belong to 580 BC to 353 BC. Therefore, the Porunthal excavation, Kodumanal excavation proved that flourishing culture and civilization developed in these two regions in the 6th century BC. So therefore, Keeladi also remained the contemporary cultural and civilization site of Kodumanal and Porunthal. Then When we speak about the Keeladi, it is a habitation and industrial site. Cremation site is not located as proper in Keeladi. Cremation site or burial site is located little far off from Keeladi. That is area is called Kondagai. In Kondagai, several burial or secondary burial objects were discovered. Primary burial skeleton was also unearthed. Therefore, Kondagai became one of the important archaeological excavation sites in the map of India. So, Keeladi proves that though industry developed in the Keeladi region, it was an agrarian society with a cattle rearing as a primary occupation. So the fragments or skeletons, pieces of skeletons found in the excavation site of Keeladi were taken and sent to Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute, Pune for analysis. So it gave a report stating that these skeletons were the part of the skeleton of ox, buffalo, goat, nilgai, wild bear, and peacock. Therefore, some of these animals are normally used for agriculture purpose. It proves that it is an agrarian society which give importance for industrial development also. Then again, Keeladi excavation also shed information that structural engineering, construction engineering also developed as like the excavation site of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. In Keeladi, bagged bricks were used for constructing building or constructing any type of structure. So in the photo, we can see a line of a wall with a brick stone. So the brick stone which was used for construction purpose in Keeladi was very broad one, then thick one, and also durable materials were used for constructing this structure. So the artifacts remains collected from this construction site or construction structure is sent for analysis in the Belur Institute of Technology for Scientific Material. So this institute, after the analysis, gave a report stating that silica, lime, aluminium, and magnesium were used for preparing material for constructing structure. Therefore, it is still survived as Toto. Then another important discovery found in the Keeladi excavation site is a ring well. So in the photo you can find ring well is erected one over the another. So it is used for storing the water. So it is a sandy region. There they wanted to get a good water by erecting ring well. So it also proves that it is a residential area. The people gave importance for industrial and agricultural activities. Then graffiti marks and symbols. In Tamil, it is called Kiralgal, Kiralgal. Yeah, just a sign, just a sign. Actually, after during the Indus Valley civilization, the people used a type of script. It is about 4,500 years old. Then after this decline of Indus Valley civilization and appearance of local script, in between these two historic phase, people practiced a type of marking that is called graffiti marking. There are number of more than 1,000 graffiti shirts were discovered from Kiladi excavation site. So, therefore, it proves that even in the time during the Iron Age time, the people had the knowledge of marking something to convey their ideas. So each marking has its own symbol expression. They express their ideas through marking. So therefore, stage by stage, writing of any language would not evolve all on a sudden through evolution. Therefore, we have seen in the potsherds appeared in Porundal and Kodumanal, script were inscribed in the potsherds. But here we can find a number of graffiti marking. It is a earlier phase of evolution of a script. Then another important things that to be kept in mind is that the development of a Brahmi script. So like Porundal and Kodumanal, here also discovered many number of potsherds with a Tamil Brahmi script. Therefore, in Kiladi we can find the base of evolution of script, graffiti marking, and the next stage that is called the Tamil Brahmi script, Tamil script or Tamili, or archaeologists, as they were influenced by traditional ideas, call it as a Brahmi script, but it is originally Tamil script. So this Tamil script, the discovery of this Tamil script also help us to compare the script discovered in the Kiladi region and the Indus Valley region. So the archaeologists come to the conclusion that there is a similarity between the script discovered in Kiladi region and also script discovered in the Indus Valley region. So the other articles or objects found in the Kiladi region was also sent for analysis. It also fixed the date as 6th century BC. Therefore, Kiladi cultural or a civilization site, then Kodumanal site and Porundal sites are contemporary sites. Therefore, there was a link between the people of this region. So the discovery of marking graffiti marking, and the discovery of potsherds proves that the literary standard of the people of this region was very high, very high. So Tamil literature, Sangam literature, actually Sangam literatures were written little late, later than this age, because the Sangam literature, the letters of the Sangam literature were found full-fledged form of letters, but it is in the early script. It is written in the early, inscribed in the early script in the Kiladi region. Then there are industries developed in this region. Pottery making is one of the important industries of the Kiladi region. In the picture, you can find a pottery which is found very depth of this soil. Therefore, it proves that the place where this full pottery and a piece of pottery is located is a surface level of the soil once upon a time. So over this place, the sand and other mud deposited step by step. So as a result of this, maybe due to due to natural calamity, this Kiladi civilization site might have been destroyed. Then another important industry that located in this region is a weaving industry. Like Kodumanal, the spindle world, then sharp tools which were used for weaving were discovered. Therefore, weaving industry also flourished in the Kiladi region. Once upon a time, Madurai became very attractive center for cotton handloom weaving. But in the recent time alone, handloom industry weaving started to decline. So that weaving industry goes back, the root of weaving industry or the beginning of the weaving industry goes back to the period of Kiladi civilization. Then it is also the findings from this region prove that dyeing industry also developed during this time. Then again, regarding lifestyle of the people, Sangam literature often speak that the people led very flourishing life. The discovery of ornaments, copper articles, beads, and other semi-precious stones help us to understand that the people led a very flourishing life in the ancient time in Kiladi region. And another important antiquities discovered from this region is a female figure that is appeared, a head appeared with a long hair. The hair is beautifully folded. In Tamil it is called bannu மாதிரி என்ன செய்றாங்க ஹேரை வந்து பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க. There are references in the Sangam literature that the women of the Sangam age possessed long hair. The hair was preserved very properly. One of the important character of the women of the Sangam age to keep the hairs intact. So this figure shows that how the hair was beautifully decorated, combed, and decorated by women. It also, this discovery is a supporting statement for what is mentioned in the Sangam literature. Then again, the discovery of artifacts from this region help us to understand silver coin, gold coin, and other important valuable items discovered from this region. Then, so all this again, once again, help us to understand, to disprove the existing previous theory, and help us to support or defend the theories framed out of excavation sites and artifacts discovered from Kodumanal and Porundal. And last important area that I have taken for discussion is, very shortly I will finish my talk, is Korkai. Korkai at present, it is located in Thoothukudi district of Tamil Nadu. When we travel from Thoothukudi to, Thoothukudi is a harbor city, Thoothukudi to Tiruchendur, Tiruchendur is a religious center. There is one area called Yeral. From Yeral, we can go to this Korkai region. Actually, Korkai is located very near to Tambravarani river. There are references in Sangam literature stating that Korkai remained as the capital of ancient Pandya Empire. Tambravarani river was by that time flow through this Korkai region. It was a harbor. There are references in two important foreign sources about Korkai. One is called Peripulus of Erythraean Sea. That was a Greek merchant guide written in the first century, about the first century AD. And another one, the writings of another writing also speak about the importance of Korkai. Another important scholar, Ptolemy, also mentioned about Korkai. Korkai was called as Corsilius and Kolkai by the foreign scholars. Then there are references that Korkai, the pearl fishing industry, was flourished in the Korkai region. The excavation conducted from this Korkai region will also reveal that conch and pearl industry developed in this region. Therefore, whatever the informations, historical informations appeared in the Tamil literature is attested by this excavation site of Korkai. Then again, in Korkai, near this excavation site, there is one tree called Vanni tree. That Vanni tree is found inside the complex of a temple. This Vanni tree, the local people believe that it is a 2,500-year-old tree. It is believed that the Pandya rulers worship this Vanni tree as a royal tree. Then still today, the people worship this Vanni tree. So you can find in the other the lower stem of this vanni tree, there on one side it appears like a five-headed snake, and another side it appears like a God Vinayaka. The people come and worship this place. Then another important excavation, the Korkai. Actually, the first survey was conducted by Robert Caldwell, who was a missionary scholar. I have already told you that he wrote a book called A Comparative Grammar of Dravidian or South Indian Family Languages. He conducted a survey in 1876. Then afterwards, in 1968, the Department of Archaeology of Chennai conducted a survey, and 1968-69, this department conducted what you called excavation. So from this, during this excavation, valuable goods were collected. These goods were later taken to Chennai for preservation. Then another important thing is the recent excavation. Actually, that was started very recently. There we can find brick structure. In the brick structure, inside the brick structure, very in the deep level, there are three rings are there. Then yes, it is also like a Kuladi, very strong structure. Actually, I saw this structure. I went and see this structure. Actually, here in the eastern part of this structure, there is a house. Therefore, very difficult to extend the excavation area to find out the full structure of this construction. Then another important thing is the discovery of what you called perforated distillation pipes. Actually, there are 10 rows of perforated distillation pipes. These pipes are arranged one over the other. Its measurement is 27 centimeter, but in the pipes we can see holes here and there. Then again, in the underneath of this pipe, the chemical objects are discovered. Therefore, there are assumptions that these pipes are used for industrial purpose. The one thing is, this information is shared by me based on newspaper information. The reports are not yet to be prepared because it will take time to prepare the report. Only after getting reports and scientific analysis, we can get the full detail about the purpose of retaining these pipes. Then another thing, this shows that these are the things found in the recent excavation site. It shows that conch industry and pearl industry developed in this region in the ancient past. Then again, there are several other things, what you call the terracotta, then horse figure, women figure, conch rings, ornaments, then beads, iron beads, copper, and other materials were also excavated from this region. Then graffiti mark also found in the potsherd. Then this area will also help us to understand that in the ancient past, remote past, Korkai was existed. There, the conch industry and what you called pearl fishing industry were flourished, and also the people of region became very familiar with graffiti writing or marking. So Korkai, when we compare the age of the Korkai civilization or Korkai culture with other region, it is much earlier than the age of the Korkai is much earlier than other region. Then again, there are some other areas excavated near the Tambrabarani river, Adichanallur, and what you called another sites also excavated in the near the Tambrabarani river. So these are the important thing that I would like to highlight. Then regarding management or what you call the heritage management of excavated site, actually the government of Tamil Nadu gives much importance for establishing site museums and exhibition of materials. At present, whatever the archaeological artifacts discovered from Keeladi region are kept at a World Tamil Sangam building in Madurai. It is located opposite to the area of a court located in the actually district court located in Madurai. Okay. Then again, there are special allotment by the previous government and also present government. The allotment also made in the present budget, recent budget presented in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly for creating open or site museum, and again extend the excavation in the other places, and underwater excavation also proposed to be conducted by the present government. Therefore, government side importance is given for doing excavation furthermore for bringing out the importance of ancient archaeological sites. So the preservation, conservation, dissemination are the three important area of heritage management. As a part of conservation, the government of India enacted several acts: Ancient Monuments Preservation Act in 1904, the Treasure Trove Act 1878, Ancient Monuments Architectural Sites Remains Act 1958, Antiquities and Art Treasures Act 1972, the Heritage Conservation and Preservation Act 2010. So these are the acts passed by the government of India for protecting these archaeological sites and archaeological objects and monuments. Then how do we make these archaeological sites and artifacts excavated from these archaeological sites as a business perspective? When we look at the business perspective, promotion of tourism product, then promoting cultural tourism, promoting heritage site tourism, and coordinating with the film industry, then development of infrastructure, publication about this, about the cultural and historical values of these artifacts, advertisement through this media, then preparation of short films for providing awareness among the people, then arranging cultural fest, and also training the local people to disseminate knowledge about whatever the artifacts discovered from the local people, and involving the what they called inclusive policy of including local people in promoting tourism and other allied activities through which we can make this archaeological excavation sites and archaeological excavated artifacts as a in a business perspective, or we can convert the value of this objects in a economic term, so that the cultural ideas, the cultural values will create understanding, unity among the people, and at the same time, the economic approach of this, or the what is called a commercial approach of these artifacts, will contribute for economic development of any institution or a nation or a country as a whole. Thank you. I thank you very much for listening my lecture. Thank you very much. This is a time for discussion.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, now you can raise your queries in your chat box. All your queries and questions are being welcomed in your chat box, participants. So the first question from Veshwara Prasad would be, sir, how do we calculate excavated items?
Actually, I have visit. Is it audible? I have visited the temporary museum which is attached with the Tamil Sangam building in Madurai. There, whatever the artifacts discovered from Keeladi were displayed, very scientifically arranged. There are technicians for displaying these artifacts. Suppose if you get any piece of skeleton of any animal, that will be decorated, developed in the form of full shape animal. Then likewise, there are when we go for display of this artifacts, they are classified agricultural objects related to agricultural activities, that will be kept in one place. Trade activities kept in one place. Then industrial complex, that will be kept in one place. Ornaments and precious stones will be kept in other place. So, such a ways they classify it scientifically and arrange it properly. But the thing is, there is a lack of space to arrange everything. They are planning to build site museum. So far, Tamil Nadu did not witness so much site museums. In the recent years alone, excavations were given much importance. Therefore, idea of creating site museum became a touching point, turning point evolved by the administrators. So once these site museums were created or built up, whatever the things collected from the respective sites will be kept there for a exhibition purpose. Thank you very much for focusing this question.
Thank you, sir. So next question from Madhumita. So please explain the phases of Keladi excavations and please share your PPT for present session. Your PPT, the PPT of the current session will definitely be shared in your WhatsApp group participants. So the question would be, please explain the phases of Keladi excavations, sir.
Actually, in 7 phases, in 7 okay, is it audible? Actually, in 2015, first phase of excavation started. The present excavation, which is going on in Keladi, is a 7th phase of excavation. So this excavation, each phase, new things were excavated. For example, in the first phase, the first phase of excavation, 2015, some normal, actually, a few things were found. That was conducted by Director Ramakrishna. Then a second phase was started in the year 2016. They are medical jars, kitchen wells, factory objects. The government seals were also found in the second phase of excavation. And the third phase of excavation started in the year 2017. Actually, the first 2 phases were supervised by Ramakrishna as a director of excavation. Third phase of excavation was directed by Ramanan, the director of Archaeological Survey of India, branch office in Chennai. And fourth phase of excavation started in the year 17 and 18. In the fourth phase of excavation, nearly 5,820 artifacts were discovered from this region. So these are the up to 4th phase of excavation. This responsibility was undertaken by the Archaeological Survey of India. Then remaining 3 excavations were done later. That means 5th, 6th and 7th excavations were done by the Tamil Nadu Department of Archaeology, Tamil Nadu. The fifth phase of excavation was done 2019, and again the 7th excavation phase of excavation is presently undergoing. Actually, when the 6th phase of excavation started, there was a scope for conducting excavation in the neighboring places, Manalur, Kondagai, and Agaram. Therefore, the concept of excavation or the concept of idea of excavation or area of excavation was expanded from the sixth phase of excavation. So at the presently, seventh phase of excavation is going on. Kiladi proper, Manalur, Kundagai, and Agaram. Kundagai is a burial grave. Often, actually, what do you call it? I went there, but I was not allowed to take a photo because by the time they were very busy with the study about a skeleton, original primary burial skeleton, which was excavated there. Therefore, I was allowed just to see the objects, not allowed to take the photo. So such a way, whenever they record anything, they normally will not allow the outsider to visit the spot. Okay, thank you for throwing such a question.
Thank you, sir. I hope, Madhumita, your query has been answered. And the next question would be from the participant, Uma. Any two importance of Kiladi, 1 year tree they have asked.
Vanni tree. Okay, okay. Hello? Echo அடிக்குது. Please, okay. Kiladi, any importance in the sense that construction structure that is important. Then durable materials are used. Idea of mixing chemical for preparation of construction material. Then iron. Then finding of government seal. Finding of coins. So these are also very important, few importance of Kiladi excavation. Regarding Vanni tree, it was very old tree. When I went there, local people are very happy to receive whenever the outsiders come. Likewise, I went to Kiladi and Kundagai. There I met one auto driver. He was very happy to feel that he belongs to a particular area where very valuable antiquities have been unearthed. Therefore, local people are very proud when they found that such antiquities were unearthed from their respective places. Likewise, Vanni tree. I saw an old lady. She went around this tree, kissed the tree, and worshipped the tree with a folded hand. Therefore, even today, the people in and around this area worship this tree. They worship this tree because of two things. One thing is they feel that they are the descendants, not descendants as such. They are the successors, or they are the people who are living in particular place where great Pandyas ruled. One thing. Another thing is, Vanni tree was worshipped by the Pandyas. Whenever they go very near the Vanni tree, they look at the Vanni tree with the two objects, or with the two mind setup. One mind setup is that it belongs to the royal family of the Pandya king. Another thing is that in the base of the tree, as I told you, there are different appearance about the 5-headed snake, appearance about Vinayaga, God Vinayaga. Therefore, they worship this Vanni tree, and also they are very happy to protect the environment. It is protected very systematically, scientifically. People also respect it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for answering this question. So the remaining questions would be answered through the mail. We'll post it to the resource person through the mail and answered to you later on. So thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time with us. And we had a great time in understanding the various civilizations and the knowledge of the Sangam literature. And we came to know how the current excavations and analysis helped out to know the industrial development and the flourishment of business activities in those areas and various industries being built up in those days, and how the system of construction of buildings was there in those civilizations. And again, we got to know how the Tamil Nadu government is being currently developing the Sangamam literature, and also, the government of India is being developing all the conservation and preservation and dissemination of all the acts of the heritage management. How the government of India has enacted several acts for the development of the heritage, how this heritage management is being on a business perspective, how the government is being promoted all this in a business way. All this we got to know, sir. Thank you again, sir, and also thank you for answering all your queries, sir. And once again, I would like to thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time with us, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hello, my dear participants. There'll be a 10-minute break and your session starts at 11:15. Please join the session 5 minutes prior to the session. Kindly join the session around 11:10. Thank you, participants, for your kind coordination.